Russia may be fighting a war in Ukraine, but its experience seems to be a lesson for China. According to the CIA chief, it is rethinking its Taiwan invasion. William Burns says Beijing is unsettled by Russia's 5-month-long war, a war that has been characterized by the West as a strategic failure. He even played down speculation that Xi Jinping could move on Taiwan soon.
I wouldn't underestimate, President Xi's determination to assert China's control, the People's Republic of China's control over Taiwan. I think he's determined to ensure that his military has the capability to undertake such an action should he decide to move in that direction. I think the risks of that become higher, it seems to us, the further into this decade that you get.
Taiwan claims to be a sovereign nation, but Beijing views the country as a part of its territory. Chinese President Xi Jinping has not ruled out the use of force to capture the island nation if necessary. But Burns thinks the Ukraine war may influence decisions on the possible use of force against Taiwan. The CIA chief says Beijing could reconsider how and when it will invade.
I think there again, I think the Chinese leadership is trying to study the lessons of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and what it tells them. I think our sense is that it probably affects less the question of whether the Chinese leadership might choose some years down the road to use force to control Taiwan, but how and when they would do it. If there's one lesson I think they may be drawing from Putin's experience in Ukraine is you don't achieve quick, decisive victories with underwhelming force.
The CIA chief's comments come just ahead of a phone call between Joe Biden and Xi Jinping. The two leaders are set to speak in the next 10 days, their first phone call in 4 months. It comes after Washington approved military assistance worth $108 million to Taiwan.
So remarkable.
It comes as the U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is set to travel to Taiwan. But Joe Biden has cast a shadow over this trip. He says the Pentagon does not think it is a good idea for Pelosi to travel to Taiwan.
Mr. President, do you think it's a good idea for Speaker Pelosi to travel to Taiwan this summer?
Well, I think that the military thinks it's not a good idea right now, but I don't know what the status of it is.
Pelosi had originally planned to visit Taiwan in April this year, but the trip was postponed after the speaker tested positive for COVID-19. However, Taiwan says it has not received details of any such visit by the U.S. House Speaker. Beijing has called on Washington to cancel Pelosi's visit, warning of forceful measures. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.